Don't look now, but New Comic Book Day is almost here. So it's time for me to take a look at all the books coming out so I can tell you what I'm getting. What's up guys, BJ Kicks here. I buy comics, I read them, and I review them, all for your viewing pleasure. So if you're new here, welcome, and if you're not, welcome back. Now on this channel I do comic book unboxings, reviews, haul videos, and in this series I tell you which comics are coming out that I'm getting every single week. So if you're interested in that type of content, hit the subscribe button, then hit the bell icon so that you're notified when new videos go live. So like I said, this video is called, or the latest in a series called What I'm Getting, where I go over the solicitations so I can go over my budget and decide which books I'm getting. So you'll find out what's on the top of my reading pile, what I'm loving, what I'm super excited for, what's on the chopping block, and what's on the maybe list I might make a game day decision on. So without further ado, let's get into this week's releases. So I like to start these lists off with the books that I am most excited for this week. That is from DC Comics and Milestone Media. This is Hardware Season 1, Issue Number 2. Hardware by Brandon Thomas with art by Dennis Cowan and Bill Sienkiewicz. It's been a great series so far. We've only gotten one issue. Issue 2 has been delayed several times. In fact, this Wednesday was the original release date for issue number 3. So anyway, to say that I've been waiting for this book for a long time is an understatement. I really loved issue 1. So far, it's my favorite of the Milestone Returns reboots. I think this is probably the most faithful to the source material while also adding the most to it as well. Like it's a great take. It definitely takes things farther than the original did, but does it in a way that respects the source material. So really loving this series. If you're a Milestone Media fan, if you loved Hardware back in the day, you definitely need to grab this. And it's got some of the best artwork in the whole line of Milestone Returns titles. So that's got a cover price of $3.99. I'm just getting the cover A. Next up, also from DC Comics and Milestone Media, is Static Season 1, Issue Number 4. Static written by Vita Ayala with art by Chris Cross and finishes by Nick Draper-Ivey. This series has been great. One thing that sets it above the rest, or like a bunch of other titles out on shelves right now, is the artwork. When Nick Draper-Ivey does his thing, the book really looks like, a lot of the panels look like still shots from an anime, and the coloring is amazing, just the panel work. There's just a lot to love about the art in this series, but the story is no slouch either. This issue, I hear we're going to kick up the action a few notches, which I'm always excited for in a Static comic. So I'm really excited to see how this goes. That's out actually this Tuesday, and you can read it digitally on DC Universe Infinite or grab it at your local comic shop. It's got a cover price of $3.99. I'm getting that Nick Draper-Ivey cover A. Next up, since we're talking about DC Comics, let's get to DC Comics proper. The next book on my pull list is the Batman ScoobyDoo Mysteries, issue number 7. Listen, this book has no business being as fun as it is. I mean, it's certainly intended for younger audiences, or if you're like me, the young at heart. I've really been enjoying it so far. This time we're going to get Batman or Scooby teaming up with Ace the Bat Hound. So that's going to be fun. If you like the Scooby-Doo movie, the most recent one, I think it was called Scoob, you'll love this comic. It's just fun. It's got nods to all the source material, so you'll find some jokes in there that will really hit you as an adult too. And it's a great book for kids as well. It's got a cover price of just $2.99. I'm getting the cover A. And next up from the DC Comics pull list, another title that's typically geared toward the younger readers. This is Challenge of the Super Sons, issue number 7. Now, we're not going to mention that John Kent is actually aged up in the main DC continuity. This is basically kind of like an Elseworlds, or like not really Elseworlds, but like a flashback tale. This takes place before John Kent got aged up. It's just an excuse for Peter Tomasi to go crazy with his creation, John Kent and Damian Wayne. It's been a fun series so far. Not like a must read, but fun if you're a Super Sons fan. A great palate cleanser from all the dark and gloomy stuff going on in the DCU right now. It's got a cover price of $3.99, and I'm just getting the cover A. Next up on the DC pull list is one I'm pretty excited for. This is I Am Batman, issue number 2. Now, I Am Batman is written, or the latest in a few miniseries about Jace Fox, Tim Fox, if you didn't know, being the next Batman. So this one's written by John Ridley. This time around, we've got artwork by Steven Segovia. Now, the artwork by Olivier Coipel in issue 1 was a huge part of the reason I love the issue so much. So I'm hoping the art is just as good, although my fear is that it's going to drop off since we got a different artist. But if the story holds up, it'll still be a recommended read. I dropped my pen. But that's got a cover price of $3.99, and I'm just getting the cover A. And next on the DC pull list is The Joker, issue number 8. Now, The Joker is written by James Tynion IV with artwork by Gilliam March, who you might recognize from the beginning of James Tynion's Batman run. Obviously, this one focuses on Commissioner Gordon trying to stop the Joker and like this really like far-reaching plot that involves a lot of like kind of world powers. It's been a really cool story so far. I kind of fell off of it and decided to just pick up again at issue 7, and I wasn't lost, surprisingly. So I'm actually really excited about issue 8. Bane's daughter is back, and she's not happy. So really cool. I'm excited to see how this series goes. And Tynion's dropping off at issue 14, so not that much longer. That one's got a cover price of $5.99, and I'm just getting cover A. And the last book on my DC Comics pull list this week comes from Tom King, Mitch Gerrits, and Doc Shaner. This one is Strange Adventures, issue number 12. Strange Adventures, a maxi series. You know, Tom King does these great 12-issue series, and this one apparently is no different. I fell off around issue 5, but I kept buying it for the covers, and I decided, you know, I'm just going to read it all together once I get every issue. What I love about this one, though, this cover A has a direct homage or a callback to the cover A from issue 1, so that's going to be fun to have in the collection. I'm excited about the story, and I'm excited to actually read it to judge it on its own merits. But that's got a cover price of $4.99, and I'm just getting the cover A. So that's the end of my DC Comics pull list, and man, they always take up the majority of the pull list budget, but we're looking at $30 if I just stick to the list. Now, let's talk about the Marvel comics on my pull list. First up is The Amazing Spider-Man issue 76. Now, The Amazing Spider-Man 75 just came out last week. If you missed the hangout where myself and Noah from Noahverse talked about it, check it out. I'll leave a link in the YouTube card. I enjoyed issue 75. I enjoyed it enough to at least buy issue 76. I'm still not, I don't know if I'm like fully sold, because this book is going to be coming out weekly, and that's going to be a heavy hit on the wallet over time. But the Ben Reilly saga, we found basically, I mean, if you look at the cover, something happened in the last issue that's got Peter Parker pretty much incapacitated. So I'm curious to see what's going on with Peter. Maybe this is the stuff that I was hoping to see in Sinister War. I thought Sinister War was going to take Peter out. Maybe he's out now. But anyway, I don't want to spoil plot points. That's out this week. It's got a cover price of $3.99. I'm just getting the cover A. Next up, speaking of spiders, we got Miles Morales Spider-Man issue number 31. I'm not going to lie, I didn't even start picking up Miles Morales until issue 25. I read through the Clone Saga and then kind of fell off with other books being in my to-read pile and jumping ahead of it. I kept it going until issue 30, since that was the big 10th anniversary celebration. I'm not feeling this new suit, but I need to at least read the story behind it to see if it's something I want to keep buying. So this week is do or die for our homie, Mr. Miles Morales. That's got a cover price of $3.99, and I'm just getting the cover A. Next up from Marvel Comics, we're finally entering the world that I love most, and that is Krakoa with X-Force issue number 24. First of all, let's just take a look at this cover for a second. Colossus with the beard just looks like just super epic. Like, I wouldn't want to cross that dude. I've been enjoying X-Force. It was kind of lulling. It was up and down for me for a little while, but ever since this whole arc with Quentin Quire and the demons or whatever is going on, I'm still kind of in the middle of it, still catching up. It's been really intriguing, so hopefully it didn't dip between issue 21 and 24, but I'm going to plan to binge read this as well. That's how I've been getting caught up on my pull list. Whatever book comes out in a certain week, I read that issue and all the ones before it so that I can be caught up. The only way to, dig out of a big hole is with a big shovel, right? So X-Force number 24 has got a cover price of $3.99. I'm just getting the cover A. And next up is X-Men issue number 4. X-Men by Jerry Dugan. I'm actually caught up on this series, and I've really been enjoying the direction it's taken post Jonathan Hickman. We're getting, the X-Men as a superhero team again, and it's always fun. Once again, I got to stop for a second. Let's just pause and take a look at this cover. Epic. Sleepy Hollow, the Headless Horseman, and the head being Cyclops' head is just, I might buy 2 of these cover A's just because I like it that much. But X-Men number 4 has got a cover price of $4.99. And like I said, I'm getting the cover A. Maybe twice. That's got a cover, or that's it. That's it for my Marvel Comics pull list. Just 4 books. So if I just stick to the list, then my Marvel total is going to be $16 this week. And that's good. That's good. Because at this stage in the game, we're only at $46. And great news, I'm not buying any indie comics this week, so I'm staying under budget. Once again, I'm loving this trend of staying under budget. So hopefully this series helps you stay under budget as well. But I'm curious to see, what books are you getting that I didn't name? For example, I know there's a new Batman Black Label series coming out. I'm not buying it because I've been buying way too much Batman. I got too much on the reading pile already. I'm going to wait for that. I also know that Wonder Woman is set to make her grand return to the DC Universe proper in Wonder Woman 780 this week. If you're grabbing that, let me know. And then from Bad Idea Comics, Monster Kill Squad issue 2 is out. I actually am grabbing that, but I prepaid, so it doesn't count in this week's total. So there you go. Those are some books that I'm thinking might be interesting. I know there's tons of new number 1s. There's tons of new indie series. So if you're getting something I'm not getting, let me know in the comments below. If you want to talk comics with me all the time, there's 2 ways you can do that. You can join the K Squad, which is my private community. You can join it on Facebook, where we do really fun activities, including the book club and a lot of exclusive giveaways, or you can join the Discord and really join a bunch of ongoing conversations pertaining. We talk games, we got a channel for games, we got a channel for toys, we got a channel for the DC Extended Universe, the MCU. We got channels for all sorts of comic and comic related things, and you might just really enjoy being a part of a really fun and growing community on Discord as well. So I'll leave links to both of our K-Squad communities in the description below. And until next time, I hope you saw something you liked in this video. And if not, hey, that's cool, because you can always buy what you like. Just make sure you read what you buy and be nice to others, because kindness makes the world go round. Peace.